It's a wonderful opportunity again. We have a guest in our studios virtually. Let me not say that he's in our studio, but he's appearing virtually from Kenya. Mr. Martin Kariuki, who is the General Manager, Centam Vipingo. So, Mr. Martin Kariuki, this is not the first time you are appearing on our show. And maybe because of any new viewer who doesn't know you, can you please have a brief introduction or tell us exactly what you do in life? Thank you so much. Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Thank you very much, Keboto. I'm actually coming live from Washington, D.C. I changed the seat of coming to this show. So I'm Martin Kariuki, and I work for Centam Real Estate. So what we do as Centam Real Estate is we are developing real estate in a different way. We are creating master planned cities. So far, we have 3 elaborate master plan that we've been creating since 2010. One is Two Rivers in Nairobi. Another one is Vipingo Development in Kilifi. Kilifi, that's about 35 kilometers from Mombasa. And also in Uganda, Entebbe, where we are doing a lakefront city called Pearl Marina. In terms of the genesis of Centam, so we've been in existence since 1967. That's 3 years after independence. So we've been in the market for long, but the strategy for creating well-planned urban cities, that started in 2009. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. So for our viewers again, we had a technical issue and we had one more guest. Unfortunately, we've not joined him in the team. So please excuse us. We'll bring him next time. So we'll continue with Mr. Martin for today. So Mr. Martin, let's talk about wealth creation in the context of the diaspora, in the African context. So let me ask you this question. What does generational wealth mean in the African context, especially for the diaspora?
So thank you. Wealth creation and generational wealth, they are very, very important terminologies, especially when it comes to us as Africans. You know, what happens is that we are a product of inheritance of something that maybe our great grandparents left behind that was able to give us a kickstart in life. So when we talk of generational wealth, we are referring to wealth that you're able to pass over to your children. And this is not just money. It's actually wealth that is able to withstand the test of time. And how we look at it is, in the context of Kenya and East Africa, real estate is becoming the best bearer of generational wealth because it is timeless. A piece of property that is generating income, as long as it's taken care of, it will still continue giving value, appreciating in value, generating some income, even for those who will come after us. So generational wealth is just about what do you pass over to the future generation, that they will be able to say that this is what I inherited from my father, from my grandfather, and that will be able to give them a kickstart in life so that they don't start from zero. They can start from somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. The other question we would like you to highlight is how can collaborations between diaspora communities and local institutions create sustainable impact in life or in wealth creation?
Thank you. Collaboration is the way to go, and that's a very good question, because when you look at collaboration between local institutions and diaspora, you realize each side of the spectrum has something to bring to the table. Local institution will help with execution on the ground. For example, now in this case, Centum Real Estate and Vipingo are your local partners on the real estate development. So they are able to execute and deliver to you very good products that that will help you create your wealth basket. On the other side, diaspora, you are emitting the foreign exchange back home. You are emitting the remittance to Kenya. That money which you are emitting, it is up to the local partner, local institution, to make sure that it is put in the right use, it is not misused, it's able to give you value back, it's able to give you a good return. So the two have to collaborate, the diaspora and the local institution. The advantage of dealing with a local institution as opposed to an individual is that in an institution there are measures that have been taken, have been put in place just to make sure that you are safeguarded. And not in a local institution with a record. So you can come and say, now I see what Centum Real Estate is developing. I see what is being done at Vipingo. I would like to collaborate. So in that case, Centum Real Estate becomes your gateway for local institution. And that is a collaboration that we want to see. When you look at the remittances that is coming back home in Kenya, it's a lot of money, but a lot of it is being used for consumption. And you know, with consumption and generational wealth, they don't go hand to hand. So local institutions are meant to help you have some of these remittances back home being put into assets that even the day you are not able to remit money back home, there are some assets that can generate passive income at home and still support the family with consumption. So the two are very critical, because without the local institution, you might not be able to do much on the ground. You just be feeding the consumption cycle, which again now is an enemy to creating generational wealth.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. So let's talk about trust and transparency and all that. You know, very many companies have had a very rough time dealing with the diaspora, just because the diaspora doesn't trust them. You know, some people say because of A, B, C, D, because I had, you know, people say I had. Some of them have not even really touched or had a connection with the companies back in Africa, but they've had stories. So how does, what role does trust and transparency play in this, in attracting diaspora investment, especially to, based to let's now collaborate it to Centum. Go ahead.
So trust is very important. It's actually the foundation of everything we are discussing here today. The collaboration without trust cannot exist. So trust is very important. It's something that is abstract, but it plays a very big role when it comes to linking the diaspora with investment back home for opportunities that can actually create wealth for themselves and for their families. So trust, how we look at it in the real estate aspect, is number one, the document of ownership. Because yes, you can be buying very beautiful products back home, but when it comes to the documents, there is no documents to show, or the documents takes for too long for them to be availed to you. So what we do is that when we change our strategy to create master planned cities, you realize that now when you're buying, say for example in Vipingo, is a 10,000 acre development. The mother title is sitting with us. So any due diligence you need will help you with all the opportunities and also any other legal support that you need from us. When it comes to even the end side of the spectrum, that is, say you've bought a home and maybe you want it to give you some income when you're away. We've come in and said, because not everyone can get somebody reliable to manage the tenants or to look for a tenant or do the estate and tenancy management on their behalf. So we introduced that function within our company Centum. And we say that anybody buying properties from us, you can come to us and say, I would like you to manage this property as Centum Real Estate. Because again, selling you a product is very nice. The developer feels nice when you buy. But when they give you the key, there is a pain point that starts to kick in, and that is the property management aspect. Most people have bought property, but no one to manage. And even when there's someone to manage, you find that maybe when the property has a tenant, you're told is vacant. Those are some of the things that have eroded trust over time. So we've mapped all those pain points that are bringing trust issues as a developer and try to provide a solution for them so that our diaspora investors can be able to create a very good wealth basket back home.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm repeating this question because some people really want a specific. So I really need you to give us the unique opportunities in Centum real estate actually is offering to diaspora looking to invest in property and all that. You've tried to expound a little bit more, but do you have something very unique, something totally different from other companies offering these opportunities to the diaspora?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. Yes, when you look at the way Centum Real Estate is doing the business back home, it's very different. And this you can even attest by the scale. We are trying to create well-planned cities. And what well-planned cities do is that they integrate multiple uses within a 15-minute, we call them 15 minutes walk city, meaning that within 15 minutes, you can get a hospital, you can get a house, you can get a supermarket, you can get a hotel. Take, for example, Two Rivers. Two Rivers now is the home to the largest mall in sub-Saharan Africa. Next to it, we have a hotel, we have Holiday Inn, we have residences, we have over 1,000 residences. Some are complete, others are about to get completed. We have Aga Khan Hospital, still within Two Rivers. We have a cinema, still within Two Rivers. We have go-karting and other social amenities still within the same Two Rivers. That is now the differentiator. We are giving you opportunities to invest in places where you can play, you can work, you can entertain, you can shop, you can get everything within a 15 minutes walk. So when we say, and the same thing is replicated in Vipingo Coast and in Uganda, Palmarina. And what happens is when you are operating in such an ecosystem that is integrated, number one, you find that there is a huge demand for people who are looking for urban convenience. Let's say, for example, you see UN is projected to bring a lot of people to Nairobi. Those people, they'll be very new to that country. If getting a home at Two Rivers will give them the urban convenience they were used to, maybe in Geneva or in New York, then it becomes a key attracting point that that person can rent there. They can do their shopping in a walking distance. Whenever they need medical attention, Aga Khan is still within Two Rivers. That is the proposition we are offering in the market, and to make sure that things like water, power, those ones are reliable, so that you're not experiencing a water shortage and you wake up, there's no power. Again, you're trying to solve all those things. We have, within the developments we are creating, power and water is in the hands of us. Two Rivers, we have Two Rivers Power Company. Vipingo, we have a desalination plant to make sure that water we are cleaning from the Indian Ocean is the one we are supplying you to your house. So we're trying to make sure that you get urban convenience and you get everything within a 15 minutes walk within those developments.
Thank you so much, my brother Martin, for that wonderful explanation. So what safeguards are in place to make remote property investment simple and secure to the diaspora clientele?
So what we've tried to do as a developer is to try and make sure that this aspect of complicating things in the whole property business are eradicated or simplified. And I'll talk to number one of the issue of documents. You can now own land or property when you're in diaspora without having to come to Nairobi to sign your documents. What we do is that the offer letter and the sales agreement, we courier them to you, you sign, you courier them back to us. The same thing happens to your ownership document, the title deed. Number two, when people make payments, because we find that most people want a payment plan that is spanning, say, 12 months, 24 months, or that 6 months. When people remit that money, they want to be in charge. They want to see their balances. They want to see their statements on the move. So what you've done as a developer is we've created a technological app so that once you have it on your phone, you can actually walk around with everything relating to your property on that app. You're able to see, was your last remittance credited to your house? You're able to download your statement in real time. You're able even to download your offer letter, your sales agreement, on the move. So we are trying as much as possible to leverage technology, as well as making sure that you're able to have control of your investment with us. Now, when it comes to managing the tenancy aspect, because that's the sweet spot for the diaspora investor, when you give us the property to manage on your behalf, what we do is that when the tenant comes, again, they don't need to ever meet you. They will find us ready with a standard template for a tenancy contract. And with that document, once they sign, they will send it to us and we'll send it to you. You sign and scan it back to us. Then whenever they pay rent, they will pay to our account. Then on a particular day in the month is when we consolidate all those accounts together with any expenses incurred. And if the expenses is more than 10,000 shillings, we'll eventually seek your permission to incur that cost. So end to end, from acquisition to enjoying the rental income, we have tried as much as possible to make sure that the distance, the many kilometers between you diaspora here in US and us back home, that distance is not becoming a barrier for you to create a wealth basket for you and your children.
Thank you so much. I basically wanted you to, wanted the world to see exactly what you're doing, especially at the two rivers. It's always good for us to really expound more and then show the world exactly what you guys are doing. It's not just doing an interview, but I wanted our viewers to see exactly what you are doing. So my other question, my brother here is, okay, one second, let me pull the question here. Just pulling the question pretty fast, then we can continue from there. Okay. My other question is is about are there financial model tailored for diaspora investors if you want to invest, if the diaspora wants to invest? I mean, how do we go about it? How do we get loans? How do we manage to finance our properties? How do we, do you have some credit facilities to ensure that we can buy them? Or, we can buy those credits, or we can get financing through those credits, or we have to pay cash? Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Thank you for that question. So in terms of the financial models, we have both options. For someone who can pay cash and you pay it very quick, say 90 days, yes, you are covered. We're able to give you a property. For someone who wants to pay slowly, I know some people don't like taking loans to buy stuff. So in case you want to be paying slowly, you can actually come to us and say, give me a property, this is my budget, and I want to pay it over, say, 36 months, over 24 months. We'll see the best phase to locate you in, and you can start by paying your deposit, and you progressively build your contribution towards the acquisition of the property. Then number 3 is you can still finance. Let's say you come in and you want to take advantage of the opportunities that are there. Let's say you want to take advantage of the moving of the UN to Nairobi, and you say, I want a house that I can be able to buy in the next 3 to 6 months. So what we've done is we've partnered with quite a number of institutions, financial institutions back home. These are SACCOs, banks, and as long as you have some disposable income, because all they look at is the cash flow. As long as you have disposable income, whether you are in diaspora or you are back home, and the property you're buying is in Kenya or Uganda, and the bank or the SACCO is in that country, they are willing to finance you. Now, there is what is appealing to most people, most buyers, and that is the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company, KMRC, because it's giving every Kenyan at least one opportunity to own home by borrowing up to 10.5 million shillings. That's like $100,000 to acquire a home whose value at least 15 million and below. So this is an opportunity for everyone that once in a lifetime, you can borrow at 9.5% by the Kenyan currency rate. That is affordable compared to what is in the market, because the market, the commercial rate is about 14%, which is a bit high, but at 9.5 for at least 10.5 million shillings, that's a good opportunity for someone to take advantage. And if you are a couple, that means you have two opportunities. Each one of you has an opportunity to get that, and that's available for every Kenyan. Outside of that opportunity, we are encouraging people to leverage the use of SACCOs to acquire properties. We've signed 3 MOUs with 3 SACCOs. One is with Safaricom SACCO, another one is Kimisitu SACCO, and the UN SACCO. So you find with SACCOs, the interest rate is a bit fairer, and you're able to use the property that you're buying as a collateral. So there is no issue of guarantors. So you can leverage, and the good thing again with the SACCO, once you have that rate, if it's 12%, it is not going to change throughout the entire lifetime of that facility. So yes, you can borrow, you can buy cash, you can buy in installment, and we'll be able to guide you based on your current need.
Thank you so much, my brother, again. My other question is straightforward here, because you are really giving us a wonderful information about how to invest. So the other question here, our people would like to know, how do center projects align with...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Today we're looking at...
Go ahead, my brother. Sorry for that.
Okay, come again on that question.
Okay, how do center projects align with the vision of a modern, globally connected East Africa? You have partly touched on this, but can you a little bit expound more, my brother?
I think from where we see it is, if you look at the 3 cities that we are creating, you realize that they are not just cities. We are very sustainable. And let me give an example so that these points can sink better. If you look at an aspect of greenery, our developments come with an approved master plan of preserving at least 30% of what we do to be greenery, because we are running away from the concrete jungle. There has to be a big difference between Nairobi and Two Rivers. Those are 2 separate urban environments. There has to be a difference between Mombasa and Vipingo model city. So we're trying to create what you see in developed economies back home. The aspect of utilities, let me pick water. If you come to Vipingo today, perhaps we are the only company in the entire Africa who are utilizing a lot of water available in Indian Ocean. We clean it with a desalination technology, and we deliver it to our investors. Whether you are you have a house, whether you have a mall, whether you have a hospital, whether you have a factory within Vipingo, that is sustainability. And when you give us the wastewater, again, we are not pumping our wastewater to the nearest municipal sewer collection facility. We are recycling every single drop because the technology is there. We are spending money to make sure that these infrastructural investments are there to create value in the long run. Same case to Two Rivers. Today is a Sunday, and Two Rivers has a lot of traffic over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The amount of wastewater generated by the mall alone is in millions and millions and millions of liters of wastewater. Again, we recycle every single drop. And that's the water now. When you come, you'll find us, we have a lot of water to irrigate. We have a lot of water for firefighting. We have a lot of water for flushing the toilets. And that's how sustainable we are. So we are not just creating model cities. We are creating ecosystems that becomes the key pillars for future generations to say that in future, I am not going to Mombasa, I'm going to Vipingo. If you are outside of Nairobi, you are not saying, I want to go to Nairobi. I want to go to Two Rivers, because that's where you get very good urban ecosystem.
Thank you so much, my brother, for answering those wonderful questions. And you see, we are practically seeing some of your products, and it's really encouraging the Diaspora to invest with you guys. You've been in the market. So how long have you been in the market, my brother? How long have you been in the market?
So we've been in the market since 1967, just from the establishment of the Centum Group. But the strategy of creating these urban mixed-use nodes, that started in 2009. Started with Two Rivers, then in 2015 we went to Vipingo development in Kilifi, and in 2016 we went to Uganda, and very soon we'll be in other places, both within Kenya and the other East African and Central African countries.
Thank you so much. Let me take, for instance, I want to have a one-bedroom apartment in the Two Rivers. Do you still have apartments there, or they are done?
So yes, we have a range of properties. The good thing is, even as we create Two Rivers and the Vipingo, we don't just focus on one particular market segment. You can buy an apartment, you can buy a standalone home, you can buy a duplex, you can buy a piece of land to develop. So in case you want a one-bedroom in Two Rivers, if you want, we even have affordable housing in Kasarani. So it will depend on the budget that you have. It will depend on the taste. So we have apartments. We have, if you want one bedroom today in Two Rivers, you'd get. If you want a studio in Two Rivers, you still get. If you want a studio in Kasarani, in Vipingo, you still get a one bedroom. In case you want to buy land and build your own stuff, whether is you want to do your own hospital, that's where Vipingo comes in. It's very expansive, a lot of opportunities there, 10,000 acres. So yes, we have, and the pricing is very competitive, because from around 2.5 million, that is like $25,000, give or take, all the way to 50 million, you can get a property to invest with Centum, and you can choose the location. So we have a lot of diverse properties, and we're trying to create what we call social cities. Social cities, what they do is they don't just take care of the high end. They take care of the affordable, the mid-market, and the high end as well, but in different proportions. Because you realize in a high-end market is not a very big market, but affordable housing is a very big market. So someone might be there asking then, how is Two Rivers, how can I afford affordable housing in Two Rivers? So affordable is relative.
Yeah.
If someone tells you, if somebody tells you you can buy a house of 5.5 million at Two Rivers, that is affordable, because from the balcony of that apartment, you basically can throw a stone to the compound in Runda. So that means the 5.5 million is affordable for the standards of that location. If you go to Kasarani and somebody says you can buy a studio for 2.5 million or $25,000, that is affordable again for that location. If you come to Vipingo and I tell you you can buy an eighth of an acre at $33,000 and build for the next 4 years, that's affordable. So the affordable is relative based on the location, because you'll find that to buy a property in Runda today, it is very, very expensive. So when we say in Two Rivers you have opportunities of 5 million to 15 million, they are quite affordable, considering that when you cross over the fence, the value is very high. You're talking of 70, 80, 90, 100 million. So these are insights that we are able to educate our customers when they come to us. Most likely you need a one-on-one interaction, a one-on-one investment coaching. So all this information that we're discussing here should not scare you. Just take that step of faith, talk to us. We'll be able to share all this and be able to guide you accordingly.
Thank you so much. Mr. Martin, so the next interview, which I really want us to focus, I really need us to start crunching numbers, and then we show the diaspora exactly what we are talking about. So I would love you, maybe your team, to give us the specifics, like we are talking of 5.5 million. How does that apartment look like? What is the square, what's the square meters or the square feet, so that we can really get specifics, and when the diaspora come or when the clientele come, they really know exactly what they are doing, or they are dealing, or they are putting their feet or their fingers on. So specifically, let's talk about, we will talk about Two Rivers, but in an overview, a two-bedroom apartment in Two Rivers, how much does it go to? You're talking about affordability. So how much that will be?
So thank you for that question. So in Two Rivers, you can actually get 3 variations of 2 bedrooms. Like what you see on the screen, that is a different project with its own 2 bedrooms. There is a 2 bedroom of 11.6 million. There's a 2 bedroom of 19.1 million, and there's a 2 bedroom of 26 million. So again, it depends on, is it in the affordable, is it in the mid, is it in the high end? Now, when you go to Kasarani, for example, you'll get a 2 bedroom there for 7.6 million. Again, when we are developing this, we do have a detailed market analysis just to see who is the target customer, because we might sell to you a house of 11.6 million, a 2 bedroom, which is measuring 72 square meters. But then somebody might say it is small compared to the 2 bedroom of 26 million, which is 130 square meters. So how you look at this is relative, because we look at who is the intended tenant or the user for that house. Because the higher, the bigger the size, the higher the price. Somebody might come and say, this 2 bedroom here has a bathtub. This one does not have a bathtub. Again, is a question of, does everyone needs a bathtub? What are the priorities? Because if I can only afford a house of 7 million, bathtub might not be my priority. My priority is, can I stay in a better gated community? Now, the expatriates, having that bathtub could be a deal breaker, for example. And that's why you see that when we are comparing the different houses, we also look at who is the intended market. And when you are looking at the intended user market, another thing we look at is, in the event we don't develop this product, where else will this particular person go? Because there are alternatives in the market. Then we look at what is the size there, what are the amenities there, and the only thing that we cannot compete with anyone is the location and also the integrated use that I explained earlier. Because not everyone who has 100 acres in Nairobi to create a 2 rivers. The houses, we build them with the same stones, we put the same kind of sinks, we put the same kind of wardrobes. But what happens when there's a blackout? You are in it. When there's no water, you are in it. But when you're in 2 rivers, you are assured the power substation there, the power in 2 rivers is run by 2 Rivers Power Company, not the Kenya Power Company. So those are some of the things we look at, and then we tell someone, yes, this house is costing for this much. You're in a good location, and this is what the surrounding environment looks like. So those are the nitty-gritties we look at, not just the price and the size of the house per se. It's the entire package. What is next to me? What can I do within 15 minutes walk? Because you see also, let's say, for example, you want to jog at night. You can buy a house somewhere, but you can't jog at night because it's not safe. In 2 rivers, you can even jog at 3 a.m. No one will ask you any question. So we look at all these comparatives, and then we say, this particular end user will be better in this 72 square meter house costing 11.6 meters as opposed to 80 square meters of a house in another place where you don't have the advantage of location, you don't have the advantage of the integrated amenities within surrounding that particular house.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm really wowed by what I'm seeing on the screen, my brother. See, this is wonderful. This world-class building facility. This is wonderful. I can see it there, man. I believe the diaspora would love to own a part of what we are basically seeing here. And what are the payment terms? You said you can have a loan of a maximum of up to 100K with a 9% per annum, and then what are the payment terms? How many years do you give your clientele to pay?
So if you're buying and you pay installments, we'll give you between 12 months and 36 months. Because what is happening is, we have a pipeline of different projects, different phases, because we don't do everything at a go. We look at the demand, then we face the project. So in case you can't fit in phase 1 because the time is a bit tight, we can give you phase 2, where you have more time. And if phase 2 doesn't still work for you, you can give you phase 3, where you still have even more time. When it comes to the financing, and I usually encourage my investors, when you are buying a home that can be rented out, and there is a reliable partner to manage that aspect of property management, don't fear to take a loan, because that loan will pay itself through rental income. Now, when it comes to payment of the loan, we encourage our investors, if the bank or the SACCO is giving you 15 or 20 years, whatever the maximum period of time they're giving you, go for that. Then seek to repay it sooner. It doesn't mean because you take 20 years, you'll take 20 years to pay. As your property is bringing you money, and as you are also making money from other sources, consolidate and pay off that thing in, say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So that now, the aspect of taking the maximum period, it makes the repayment, in case anything happens, you don't have very sharp installments falling up. So you have a fallback plan, you have manageable, maybe your rent can actually be paying that, but don't aim to stay with that loan for a long time, because you need to pay it. Take a second one, so that the first and the second one can combine and pay the second one together. Go for the third property, and before you know it, in 15, 20 years, you've created an imaginable wealth basket that your future generation will be happy to inherit from you. And that is the generational wealth we are speaking about here today.
Thank you, my brother. So if you have any closing shot, we would love, because of time, we would love to end the interview, but I would love to talk to you over and over, my brother, because whatever the product you are giving to Diaspora is really very much encouraging. So go ahead, if you have something we've not really covered, you want to tell the Diaspora, go ahead, my brother.
Thank you very much. And my parting shot will be around this topic of investment. You see, what you've been doing as an institution, Two Rivers was once a dream. It was a plantation of Napier grass, and we had a dream on paper. A dream that would have scared you if you saw the kind of numbers that we were looking at to develop it. The same thing to Vipingo. Vipingo is known for size of plantation. It's 10,000 acres. And for us to actualize that city, it will require billions and billions of money. But the concept and the vision are there on paper, and we are moving one step at a time. So investments, whether at institutional level, at an individual level, it is good to have the vision, but break it down into smaller portions that are manageable. Because if you look at the investment as a whole and say, I can't afford 5 million, then you'll be scared. You'll never invest. And because 5 million today, 5 years from now, it will be 10 million. So my advice to my diaspora investors is that if you don't take the step of faith, and we borrow a lot. Two Rivers is not built by just money from our banks. We borrowed a lot, and you can see we borrow, we pay back. We borrow, we develop, we pay back. It's the same investment principle. Leverage to borrow, to acquire good properties, to acquire good assets, income generating assets. Let us manage those properties on your behalf, because we are an institution, we are credible partners. Pay back your loans, create a good credit score, keep buying, keep borrowing, and within no time, we'll all have very good investment. Our hope as Centum is that Two Rivers and Vipingo can become the hub for diaspora investors. We want to hear diaspora say, diaspora owns 60% of all the properties available in Centum, in Vipingo, in Two Rivers. That is the vehicle we want to create. We want to be the gateway for diaspora investors looking to invest in good strategic locations. And you can see, we are not just selling you properties. We've invested heavily on infrastructure that will be able to make your property appreciate in value and look attractive to the tenant. So talk to us, and I hope, engineer, you will allow me to give my contact. Talk to us, and we'll be able to share a lot of insights. We'll be able to help you. We'll be able to handhold you. Even when you are not ready to invest, talk to us, because the information we'll give you will help you to plan in the next investment in the coming future. Thank you.
Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead and give your number.
So my number is +254 735 142 826. That's +254 735 142 826. That number is on WhatsApp at the moment because I'm here in the DC. But you can get me anytime, any day. When I'm back home, you can call me when you come home. You can put me a message on WhatsApp and I'll be able to get back to you. I'll be happy to share the wealth of information I have to help you create your wealth basket. And that is the generational wealth that we've been discussing here. Let the future generation know that you acquired Two Rivers in the year 2025, in the year 2026, when Two Rivers then will be the key area that people will be wondering, how did people acquire land in Two Rivers? How did people acquire properties in Vipingo? So take opportunities. It's not far. We've seen what has happened to Kenya from independence. Now we are in 2025. You see the people who are able to invest in 70s, how their families are, the generation that is now here today with us, and there are people invested heavily in the 70s and 80s. The story it's clear. You can see the kind of kickstart they have in life. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you create a lot of generational wealth.
Thank you so much, my brother. So till next time, may God bless you. If you have anything you would love us to pass to the diaspora, let's know. Let's plan ahead, and then we bring specifics so that we can really have a wonderful conversation with the diaspora, so that the diaspora can gain in the area of wealth creation, because that is something, that's a sport everyone should actually try his or her level best to ensure that at least you create generational wealth whereby your children and your grandchildren will live a comfortable life in the years to come. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Till next time, congratulations from the diaspora. Thank you so much.
Thank you.